All right, here is your awesome tutorial on scientific notation, how to multiply and divide. It can get tough, but let's talk about proper form. Because when you're dealing with scientific notation, you do need to do proper form. Now, I've seen it written different ways, standard form. I've seen textbook call it general form. Basically, it's how you normally write your numbers. This is how I'd write the decimal. That decimal. 250. That's how I'd write 1,398.25. Let's see here. This would be millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions. So we have 24 quadrillion. So scientific notation is a way to write very large or very small numbers. And its format is a number between 1 and less than 10 to a power of 10. So I took this decimal here and changed it to scientific notation. So it's 5.69 times 10 to the negative 6. It's something that's very small. That's a very small number. And notice that 5.69 is a number between 1 but less than 10. I like to say between 1 and 10, but it can include 10. So 250 is 2.5 times 10 squared, because 2.5 is a number between 1 but less than 10. This number in the thousands is 1.39825. I used all the digits times 10 to the third power. So this is where the power of 10 comes in. This is a power of 10, power of 10, power of 10. And our 24 quadrillion is 2.4, because 2.4 is a number between 1 and 10, less than 10. And it'd be to the 16th power. So that's proper form. So now that we got that out of the way, how do you multiply? Well, let's do it. I'm going to give you the tip I use. This is how I do it. Hope it works for you. You multiply the numbers, then add the exponents. Multiply the numbers, then add the exponents. So here's our sample problem. 6 times 10 to the third, that's our first part, times 4 times 10 to the ninth. We're going to multiply the numbers. These are what I'm saying are the numbers, 6 and 4. We multiply 6 and 4. You can do that one in your head. And then we're going to do what? Add the exponent. Because they have the same base, they're both the base of 10, we just add the 3 and the 9. So we write down, I got 24 times 10 to the 12th. Hey, pretty good. That's how you do it. Now you have to check. You have to put it in proper scientific notation. And remember, scientific notation, the first part has to be a number between 1 and less than 10. Is 24 between 1 and 10? No. So where would I put the decimal to make it between 1 and 10? To go right here, 2.4. Because I'm moving that decimal over, that changes our power. So our final answer is 2.4 times 10 to the 13th. That would be the correct answer. So are you wondering, how do you know if the exponent goes up or down when you're putting it in proper scientific notation? I get this question all the time from students, and so I'm here to help you with that. Here's how I figure it out, I guess you could say. So if the number, like the last problem, the number was 24. If the number is 10 or greater, then the exponent needs to go up. The exponent needs to become greater. If the number is greater than 10, the exponent needs to be greater. For example, I have 78.9. Is 78.9? That's the number. It's 10 or greater. Yes, it is. So my exponent needs to go up. So right now it's 7. How many places do I need to move the decimal to make it between 1 and 10? I need to move it 1 place. So my exponent goes up 1 digit. So the correct answer is 7.89, which is between 1 and 10, times 10 to the 8th, because I needed to move it over, therefore my number goes up. Try it one more time. I have 205.32 times 10 to the negative 9th. All right, 205 isn't between 1 and 10. That's not proper form. If I put the decimal right here, I have 20.532, which wouldn't be correct. I need to move it right here to 2.035 or 532. And I moved it over 2 spaces. Because this original number was greater than 10, I need to move this up. And they're negative numbers, so moving it up, I know you're like, well, that went down. No, it went closer to 0. So it's negative 7 because I went 2 places. All right, so that's what I do if the number is greater than 10. But what if the number is less than 1? If the number is less than 1, the exponent needs to go down. It needs to become smaller. All right, this is a number less than 1. right here, 0.05289 is less than 1. The number part is less than 1. That's not proper form. The decimal's in the wrong spot. I need to move the decimal over 2 places to make it 5.289 because 5.289 is between 1 and 10. Since I moved it 2 places, 1, 2, I need to make my exponent smaller. So I need to go smaller than 6. 2 numbers smaller than 6. What would it be? It'd be 4. All right, try it again. So I have 0.32, that's definitely a number less than 1, times 10 to the negative 5th. So I'm going to move my decimal. Looks like I only have to go 1 place over, so it's 3.2. And I need to make my exponent smaller. I moved the decimal 1 place, my exponent goes smaller by 1 digit. So negative 5 to make it smaller becomes negative 6. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, we can save this information. That's good. So how do we multiply and divide? Well, I told you how to multiply and divide. Here it is. So let's review. Multiply the numbers, add the exponents. Multiply the numbers and add the exponents. Then you go ahead and you put them all in proper form. And now we've covered proper form. How do you do it? So let's solve some problems. Multiply the numbers and add the exponents. 9 times 5 is 45. Add your exponents. 2 plus 4 is 6. So 45 times 10 to the 6, not proper form. We need to move the decimal 1 place, so we're at 4.5. And since 45 was greater than 10, my exponent had to go greater. Okay. Now, I can't do all of the problems in my head, so grab your calculator if you need to. No judgment here. All right, next one. Multiply the numbers. 8.2 times 6. Then add your exponent. 5 plus negative 4 is 1. Okay. 49.2 times 10 to the first power. 49.2, not a number between 1 and 10. I need to move my decimal 1 place over, which is why my exponent went up. All right, because 49 was greater than 10. 7.25 times 4.1, because I'm multiplying my numbers, and I'm going to add my exponent. Negative 8 plus negative 3 is negative 11. So I have 29.725 times 10 to the negative 11th. I need to move my decimal 1 place, so it needs to get higher. So 2.9725 times 10 to the negative 10th. Oh, I forgot to tell you, please pause this tutorial at any time so you don't have to listen to me and you can solve the problems on your own. Yes, you do have permission to do that. Okay. Number 4, multiply the numbers. 1 times 3. Okay, don't grab your calculator, I'll be mad. Add your exponent. 5 plus 13. 3 times 10 to the 18th. Look, it was already good. It was a 3. It's between 1 and 10. That make you happy? Okay, so I saved the easy one for last instead of first. Hee 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 hee. So now that we practiced multiplying, how do we divide? Well, I'm just going to tell you how I divide. I divide the numbers, then subtract the exponents. Same thing. I'm going to divide my numbers, 2.4 divided by 8, subtract my exponent, 9 take away 3. It's always numerator take away denominator. Don't ever go the other way. Numerator take away denominator, 9 take away 3. And you can do this because they're the same base. They're both base 10. So if you want 2.4 divided by 8, you're going to divide the numbers and then subtract the exponents. So you're going to get 0.3 times 10 to the 6. Is that proper form? Say no. It's not. Proper form means 0.3 is not between 1 and 10. So I need to move my decimal 1 place over. And since this number is already less than 1, I need to make my exponent less. So hopefully you get 3 times 10 to the 5th. Ding! Practice problems. Here we come. Home stretch. We have 4 practice problems written just for you today. Okay. 4.5 times 10 to the 7th divided by 5 times 10 to the 4th. We divide our numbers, subtract the exponents. I know 7 take away 4 is 3. 4.5 divided by 5 is what, 0.9? Times 10 to the 3rd? Can't leave it 0.9. You got to move that decimal over 1 place. And since it was a number less than 1, my exponent needed to be less. 9 times 10 squared. Yeah, I think I grabbed a calculator for this one too. Okay, number 2. 4.92. I'm going to divide that by 8.2. And then I'm going to subtract my exponents. Ooh. Remember, it's numerator take away denominator. 2 take away 5 is negative 3. So I have 0.6 times 10 to the negative 3. I need to make that a number between 1 and 10, so I move my decimal to the right. And it's 6 times 10 to the negative fourth. I needed to make it even smaller. All right, 2.9725 divided by 4.1. So we're going to divide our numbers and then subtract your exponents. Be careful with your negatives because this is negative 10 and you're going to take away negative 3. It's not negative 13. All right, so we get 0.725 times 10 to the negative 7th. And again, we got to put it in proper form, so I moved my decimal place once, so 7.25. And since it was a number less than 1, I have to make my exponent less. Last problem. Divide 3 divided by 1 and subtract your exponents. 3 times 10 to the 13th. And that's it. That's all I got for you. So hope that helps with your scientific notation, multiplying and dividing.